Well, I have a couple thoughts before we.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We do need to discuss something.
Before we dive into something. Yeah, here let me pull it up real quick. So our email has been, as the kids say, popping. Yeah, I believe popping is a correct term. So
you read one, I read the other.
Is it gonna load? Yeah, you read the first one.
All right. So after the movie review, we got some feedback
about my
Brett,
apparently controversial opinion about the Minion movie, or sorry, Despicable Me. Despicable Me.
Yes, yeah, Despicable Me. I agree only partly with Ethan Hasselhoff's opinion on Despicable Me. I understand and support the anti-illumination movement, but I also think that bad sequels can't ruin the masterpiece that was the first Despicable Me installment. It seems unfair to judge a movie by the bad franchise decisions made after the release of the first movie. All caps, sincerely, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
I don't know if this is an actual Brett Sandlin or if someone is just like trolling.
Brett, we need to talk.
Fair opinion. I think.
No, it's not. It's actually the wrong opinion. That's what you were saying
originally.
No.
Well, you said that kind of.
No, I didn't.
Okay, the first movie was actually fire. Yes, you did.
I did not say the first movie was fire. I said the first movie was fine, but it was completely ruined by what would turn out to be mom memes, like Facebook mom memes. I can't handle it. That's not funny.
That's true.
It's not funny. It was created. It was created to sell products. Okay, and I understand all franchises are created to sell products, but Minions, people think it's ironically funny, but it's not ironically funny. It's like post-ironically funny that people find it funny. That's the only thing that's funny about it.
Post-irony?
It might be meta post-irony at that point, but it's not. It's not funny. It shouldn't ever have existed. If I hear one more person go banana, I'm gonna flip.
That was so clean in the microphone.
I know. We're getting good at this. I just I hate this. I hate that we even have to talk about this, Brett. Brett, stop listening. Yeah. Stop right now.
Whoa.
Turn it off.
Whoa. Oh, hold up.
I don't care if you're a Patreon subscriber, if you listen to our episodes multiple times. I don't care if you rated us. I don't care. Stop listening to the podcast. Leave.
Have we gotten any ratings?
Yes, we've gotten some, but you can't see who they're from. They're anonymous.
What are we rated?
5.0 stars.
How many have we gotten?
Not very many. So Brett,
that's fair.
Brett, the only way you can rectify yourself, okay, is if you go on the pod and we have a confrontation.
What?
I want to get in a call with Brett. You want to
have a Brett Sandlin call in?
We're going to grill you.
Okay.
We're going to ruin you.
I agree with Brett. I like Despicable Me.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Listen. So today, Ethan.
No, there's another one.
Prepared.
There's another one for some reason.
Oh, that's right.
Someone else. Email. I might know the culprit of this one, but oh my god. Okay. So our second email from s.sminionambassador@gmail.com. She says, as a self-proclaimed Minion ambassador, I think this is perhaps your lack of understanding of the culture of the Minions that has caused you to judge them so harshly. I am including a link to a website for you to educate yourself on the Minionese language and the culture of which the Minions are part of. See the provided link below. We need to talk.
This link actually is a website called Learning the Language of the Minions and Despicable Me.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, we're not going to even read it. That's what they want. They want us to read it and have a discussion about it. You know what you do with bullies?
The Minions.
Stop!
Minionese.
No!
Sometimes
no!
Called
Stop.
The banana language. Minionese is what's known as a constructed language or conlang. Conlangs are often feature of works of fantasy and science fiction, like Klingon or Elvish in The Lord of the Rings.
We know what a made-up language is.
Star Trek. Anyways, that's all I'm going to read. That's just the first part. I just want to...
I'm like actually mad. Okay, Isaac, what do we got for this wonderful episode?
So, there was a man named
Nice.
Terry Davis. There was a
Larry
man
Davis.
in 1969.
Wait, before we get into this, is this the super lucky unlucky dude?
No.
Okay.
No, I promise you. I have no
Okay,
idea who this
okay.
is. No. 1969, December 15th. He was born to the Davises. Wow.
What was his mammy and
I'll do, like,
pappy's name?
confetti effects. I don't know. Listen. No, it's Terrace Andrew Davis and West Alice
West Alice?
Davis.
Interesting.
Oh, he was born in West Allis, Wisconsin, and his name was Terrence. Wait, what?
His name isn't Larry?
I don't know his parents. He was. Listen, we're cutting that out. He was born in West Allis, Wisconsin.
Nice.
He later moved to Washington, Michigan, California, and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
He was, this is crazy, the seventh of 8 children, and his father was an industrial engineer. So,
Okay.
as a child, Davis used an Apple II at his elementary school, and as a teenager, learned assembly language on a Commodore 64. So for those who don't know, Terry Davis at his elementary school used Apple II, and then as a teenager, coded in assembly language. Now, so, Ethan.
Yes.
Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay, Ethan.
What?
So today we have coding languages, which are like JavaScript or Java or C++ or C# or anyways.
And the
lots of
derivative
things.
of
And those
C.
are kind of like English. Like there are English words in it, and it's a mixture. But obviously, well, not obviously, maybe not obviously. Sorry guys. But computers don't understand. So I'm talking tech today. Computers don't understand English natively. You can't input English. So when you count from 1 to 10, and when you do math and algebra, you're working in base 10. Binary is simply base 2.
Ones and zeros.
Which means ones and zeros. So every ones and zero pattern equals a number. And then, so when people are spelling things in binary, they're actually doing a number, and that number is equal to a ASCII value, which then is that letter. So technically, you're just what the computer sees.
So you're numbering at 1 to 26, and then
no, you're not. It's like 93 to. Anyways, okay. Listen.
Well, you gotta explain it. What do you?
Binary is very complex, is what I'm saying. Computers understand it. Now that we don't need to code in binary, we don't do it because it's a waste of time, and we can do so much faster coding because we don't have to code every single logic gate, etc., etc., etc.
Yes.
Obviously, if you've never coded before, you cannot understand how ridiculous it is to code something in binary. Assembly language is like the next step up from binary. It works in just number packets, basically. And it sucks. It's horrible. Nobody uses it anymore. I mean, you need to understand it so that you can, like, whatever. You don't need to, but it's good to. Coding assembly language is ridiculous. It is insane. Anyway, so this guy, as a teenager, coded in assembly language. Mm-hmm. That's not too insane because that's what they had at the time. Anyways, he earned a master's degree in electrical engineering from Arizona State University, and he worked for several years at Ticketmaster as a programmer for VAX machines on the subject of his certifications. He wrote in 2011. So he said in 2011 he was working. Everybody knows electrical is higher in the engineering pecking order than CS because it requires real math. I'm a rocket scientist, though not a very good one. So basically he was being, I don't know if you know this, a typical electrical engineer. Electrical engineers think they're better than every single engineer in the field.
Because they are.
Better than computer scientists, better than civil engineers, better than anything. I disagree, but anyways,
I think civil engineers are engineers.
Whatever you want to do, it's equal. Aren't an engineer?
Not really, no. I think you
Bro,
gotta go structural engineering. Civil engineering, it's kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
more design.
When you say civil engineering, it could mean design or it could mean structural. Some people, when they say that, you don't know quite the direction.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Terry Davis, he grew up Catholic, but he went atheist for most of his life.
Siri Havis, yeah.
Around 1996, and 1969 is like 20 some years. He went to an insane asylum.
Oh, nice.
Every 6 months, because he had manic episodes.
Okay.
He was then diagnosed with schizophrenia, which is really sad. I mean, this guy was actually not horrible. He didn't do drugs. He didn't drink.
Right.
Yada, yada,
Just
yada. He just got
disability,
schizophrenia.
yeah.
Yep. Well, basically, he went insane, and he thought people were following him around in suits, and he thought the FBI and space aliens were like onto him, and he soon had like a bunch of fear. I'll tell a few more stories about Terry Davis, but he started donating large sums of money to charity organizations, and he said that it was probably God who revealed himself to save him. Is why he was doing that. Anyways,
there are worse things to do when you're insane.
Yeah, no,
There are
I know.
worse things.
It's like this guy goes insane and he's like donating huge sums of money to charity.
Yeah.
And he's like, God told me to. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Well, then he decided he would code an operating system. Now, he didn't just make an operating system. He coded it in assembly language.
Which is like the hardest one.
As a programmer, I understand. That is genius level. That's not normal person level. That's not like okay. You think like that's equivalent to coding a computer in Minecraft? No, this is more than that. Way more. I know that's
okay. Can I
example.
So
it is genius level. What?
I want to go over something. So I know
single-handedly.
I know binary. That's what computers read and understand. And the assembly language converts stuff into binary. Correct.
Assembly language is just a very low-level code, meaning it's closer to binary than other coding languages.
Right. So
it's usually just called assembly.
So okay.
So it is. Here's the technical definition. Sorry. It's a very strong correspondence between the instructions in the language and the architecture's machine code instructions. So you are having to give like stop after certain commands so they don't keep running. You're having to like basically go word to word to word, not word, but like command to command to command on what processes actually do on a computer, which is just insane to understand the processes of a computer and code it. Like it's painful as heck.
Because
this guy
like,
coded an operating system out of it.
Like when you're so I have very, very limited amount of coding knowledge. I made a very small game in Java once. But so I know in Java,
hey, that's not bad.
It's
Java is very high level.
Yes. There's lots of assumptions that the software has saying like this is what an if statement is, so that it has like that block of code and that can interpret whatever you have. So I know, so there's JavaScript, right? And that's based on the C programming.
JavaScript's different.
Okay. It's based on the C programming language, right? Is that what you're talking about? Or is C above that? Does C interpret whatever he was coding in and that goes into binary? Or is C, what is C?
No,
what are the different levels?
Here's the thing. Assembly language is older, so it's way harder.
Okay.
Java is newer,
but it's based on C.
Let me explain. Yeah, it's based on C, but C is. Let me explain. Okay. So you have binary. That's the literal inputs. You have zeros and ones. You have switches on a computer. You have like on and off. That's your 0 or 1, and you get bits, which are 8 zeros. Mm-hmm. Wait, a bit is, I think, anyways.
It's
you know that.
8-bit, 16 bits.
So you can code in binary, if you have the right, whatever. And then when something is called higher level or lower level or mid level or whatever programming language, all it means is it's distance removed from binary, which so low level means it's closer to binary. So, like, assembly language means it's closer to you have to input every single command as, like, a computer does. Does that make sense? So, like,
Yes.
when doing a line, you have to enter the command 00, I think.
When doing a line.
Hardly any assembly. Not a line. Like a program.
Yeah.
You have to do, like, the stop command. And you have to do, like,
Right.
you have to allocate memory. You have to whatever.
I understand that.
Java, you just say, and if this, then this happens.
Right.
Assembly language, if statements don't work like that. You have to do the logic inside of the computer.
I understand
so
that.
as the computer understands what the... Anyways.
Low level is... I keep on forgetting what
Harder.
you're saying. Yes, low level is what he programmed in. So there's
Yes.
0, that's binary, and then there's what he did,
Zeros and ones, which is assembly.
and then so our high level programming languages like Python and Java, are they? So what is is C a high level programming
easier.
language? Yeah, I understand that.
C is
that mid level?
C.
I know
is
it's really old.
one of the.
It's really old.
C is one of the lowest level programming languages that is still like kind of used commonly. I hesitate to say that because I don't know too much.
Because I know there's C++.
C Sharp is used heavily. It's here's the thing: is high level and low level are all about like it kind of matters who you're talking to. Because some people would call C Sharp a little bit more middle level than high level, and then like Python and Java are like definitely high level because they're so language based.
Yeah.
HTML is super high level because HTML is only for coding websites. You can't do anything else, and it's specifically designed. All of the things on HTML are designed by a person in code to do specific graphical things. And then, of course, you mix CSS and JavaScript with it. So it just depends what you're doing. But assembly language, here's the thing. Assembly language is not made for a specific purpose. Python, I think it's Python. Maybe I'm thinking of Java. Java is really good at not making, say, like programs. It's really good at like solving. You can do it. You can do it. I saw your face. You can make programs with Java. But Java's really good at like solving problems and going through processes really quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas HTML is just for designing. Not just, I know.
Basically,
for designing
yeah.
websites.
Yeah.
HTML, CSS, and JavaScript package. Assembly language is for giving instructions to the computer in, I think it's hexadecimal format. So it's like basically like a
I know.
harder binary.
I've heard of that before.
Let me see. So here's a good explanation.
Here's the rub. Give it to me.
Assembly language is basically binary code. Like you're coding with the same logic as binary, but it's in a format that we understand. Does that make sense? C++ and stuff like that is not. It's a completely different type of like coding, whereas binary coding is like lines of instructions, etc.
Okay, how about
binary
this?
Assembly is like that, but you can see it and we can read it easier than always having to try to determine what the ones and zeros mean. Does that make sense?
Yes. How about this? Okay. How about binary?
We're talking so in depth about this, but it's not a bad thing.
How about binary is Egyptian hieroglyphs? Okay. And then what was the one you kept on talking about? No, stop. What was the one you keep on talking about? The
assembly.
The one
he used.
Assembly is Latin. And then mid to high level languages are English. Actually, no, mid level languages are traditional English, and then high level languages are TikTok. I just want to relate to the audience.
There we go. Sure.
So there we go.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the
rub.
I'm gonna go back. Egyptian hieroglyphs. Each hieroglyph means many things. So, like in a code like Java, you would say an if statement that would have a many commands combined into it.
The point I was making
is more like
it's
taking
hard
an
to
Egyptian
read.
hieroglyph and having to explain the essence of each thing inside of that one hieroglyph, not just what it is. You can't say why.
It's like you took a papyrus full of ancient. If you took the Rosetta Stone and then nuked it, and you had to pick up all the pieces and figure out what they meant one by one.
Yeah, sure. That's assembly language. Okay.
Just wanted to clear it up.
Let's move on. Basically, whatever. So he decided to make his own OS.
Okay. His own OS.
Which, is insane. He single-handedly made his own operating system in 10 years, a decade. I mean, he continued to work on it after it was kind of like done.
Yeah.
It's open source, it's free. And it wasn't at first called Temple OS.
What was it first called?
First, it was called the J operating system, or Lusthos. I'm not sure what, like Losethos.
That's Thanos' younger brother. Really not successful.
He's kind of a loser.
Yeah.
Lusthos, and Sparrow OS in 2012. Okay.
This is pretty
the operating
recently.
system was similar to the Commodore 464 Desk View and other DOS-based interfaces. I'm not gonna try to explain. Never mind. Moving on.
Don't care.
Anyways, it was developed in the course of a decade. It had. This is what the crazy thing. So he coded it in assembly language, but in the operating system itself, it had a unique programming language, editor, compiler, and kernel. So should I explain kernels, or are we just gonna get?
We're gonna ignore kernels. Okay. I know that a compiler.
Okay. It's really impressive.
Yes.
A compiler.
Stop. It converts it to binary. I was just gonna say.
Oh, did you want to
stop?
Oh, did you want to impress me? I'm so sorry.
Because we had this discussion earlier.
Impress everybody.
We had this.
I'm sorry.
Discussion earlier. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Do you know what I do on my
computer?
computer?
Compiler.
Do you know what I do on my computer?
What
I go to Microsoft Word and I type notes.
Mm-hmm. He made his own editor and compiler. That's pretty cool. Anyways.
It is cool. Google Docs for
Here's
scrubs.
The thing. So when you're writing code, I'm gonna just give some background.
When one is writing code, say I'm writing code.
There's something. Every single coding language. Mm-hmm. Maybe not every single. Not like binary.
That's not a language though. That's your.
There's something called. Yeah, you're right. Wow, look at me.
Wow.
Listen, there's something called. I know. There's something called comments, which are snippets that you write into the code, and you use a special character sequence. Usually, it's like 2 forward slashes or a forward slash, and like ampersand sandwich. Anyways, and basically, the compiler, which takes that code and turns it into binary, ignores those, so it's no part of the code.
So you see it when you're looking at the.
You see it when you're editing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And why you need this is, say you get to like 300 lines of code, that's a lot. And the thing with code is, it's always tying, like when you're coding something, you're always tying back in and forth and around and in between to connect it all. And so you have to write comments describing what certain things do. Because yes, I know how to read code. But trust me, if you're trying to bug test a program that doesn't work and it's 300 lines long, and you're trying to find a certain section that does something like this to help this other thing, and you don't have a comment, you don't want to be like having to try to discern each thing and trying to remember. So you write comments.
It's like you put a post-it note.
You get to 1,000 lines of code.
You say, hey, this is what this
does. You get to 1,000 lines. Yeah. You get to 1,000 lines of code. It's insane. You have to put so many comments. You put comments. You make sure you name your variables super, super well so that you don't like mix them up. It just gets crazy, insane. His operating system, written in assembly language, which is just like, that's insane.
If you say it has 0 comments, I'm going to flip out.
I actually don't know. I haven't looked at it.
Okay, that'd be wild.
Let's see. Let's do a little test. Assembly. I don't know. I think assembly language has comments. Yeah, you can do a comment in assembly language, which you probably did. But also being a genius, he probably didn't. He probably just had a block and he did. Anyways, I have no idea. He was literally a genius, schizophrenic.
True story.
100,000 lines of code.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a lot of code.
In this operating system, no, I'm not going to send you. I'm going to explain. In this operating system, you have a bunch of directories, and then you can do some stuff. There's some like whatever. There's like welcome, help and index, take a tour, fast reboot, key map. demo index, directory, more directories, like where to store files and stuff. It has the time up the top. It has the memory amount left. It has like your CPU cores. Anyways, but it also has graphical images that move that says fun games. And it takes up about a quarter of the screen in this one screenshot.
I love fun games.
And it's just a bunch of fun games he made. He made an inbuilt flight simulator in his operating system because, anyways, so I made all this, and
why do you make it?
Why? Why is it called? So, we talked earlier about him having revelations to God. So it's called Temple OS because he believed God was asking him to make a second temple digitally, so a operating system that God would reside in as his second temple, which is interesting to me. Anyways, very interesting. And here's the thing.
What's the thing?
We're Christians.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy claims to be Christian. And he's schizophrenic. So it's the kind of thing of like, well, I mean, he's going insane, right? Mm-hmm. Anyways, so like, how, like, you know what I mean? But he also used so much vulgarity and called people so many slurs that he got kicked out of, let me see, Something Awful, which is I guess an online like chat site, Reddit, and Hacker News, and OS News, and I think Tech Republic. Anyways, he got kicked out of banned from so many websites because he had so many. And you go on Reddit, people are cussing up a storm, slurring.
Like, it's got to be pretty bad.
Extremely, extremely like offensive or something that they banned him. So, and then he says he used it because when I fight Satan, I use the sharpest knives I can find. I ain't shedding no tears because you don't like bleep. It's really interesting.
Wow.
Anyways, his death is really sad. During his final months, so he lived with his parents after he went insane, after he was diagnosed as schizophrenic. He lived with his parents and lived on Social Security, and that's when all of the online chat rooms took place and Temple OS took place.
Yeah.
But I don't know if his parents died or what, but he basically went homeless. And the police had kind of warned of him because I guess he said he was willing to kill if asked by God, which is just sad. Mm-hmm. But so he recorded this final video on a bench at the Dallas Wasco County Library, and he uploaded it hours before his death.
Well, I'm King Terry, and learned how to purify myself in a horribly impure environment. It's pretty rough living homeless in a field outside a little town, and coming into their library, and it's a very pure town, and must have been an extreme shock to them to see such a horribly sick person come in here and pollute everything, and it was a lot of torture to snap me into an ability to handle purity for this job. There's a little castle over there. Let's see, where's that castle? There it is. Oh no. So that's a little castle. I don't know. I really like this library. So come here and use their computer and smoke out here. They must have been freaking out because such an impure person was in their presence. Oh well, I was clueless. Now I used to have a respect for purity. So well, it's good to be king. Wait, maybe. I think maybe I'm just like a little bizarre little person who walks back and forth. Whatever, you know. But
And that's just so sad to me because,
That is
like, he
sad.
was going insane, right? And he was like, maybe I'm king. And then he was like, wait.
Maybe
Maybe
I'm just a bizarre
like this
person.
bizarre little person.
where he walks back and
And it
forth.
kind of, I watched it and I kind of was like, maybe we'll watch this.
That gives me the chills. That is
It does.
That's-
Does it not?
that's one of my number one fears. Like going insane and not knowing if you are. But I feel like
schizophrenia.
he knew.
He was. Yeah, that's the thing with
Yeah.
schizophrenia is it's like there's bipolar disorder and then there's schizophrenia, which is basically like you have bipolar disorder squared.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's wild.
anyways, I just wanted to talk about Terry Davis today.
So you know, this really reminds me
Interesting
of the Unabomber.
The Unabomber?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of him?
Who is that? I have no idea. Tell me a story, Ethan.
We're gonna talk real quick about Theodore Kaczynski. So Unabomber, basically what he did is he sent bombs to a lot of like high-ranking people, like in the mail, 1978 to 1995. But he was kind of like the same dealio. He was raised. So I had kind of heard of him before, but then like there's like this economics class that I took, and they were talking about how even if you're given like the maximum amount of opportunities, you can still not succeed in life, you know, like even with education. So this dude, I think his like mom and dad were like a doctor or something, and he grew up like upper middle class, went to private schools. He went to Harvard and University of Michigan for a PhD in mathematics. But like he went insane after getting his PhD, and then I think he moved to so he taught a little bit at University of Michigan, UC Berkeley, and then he moved to Montana, the most beautiful state.
Oh, wow.
And he lived like basically as a hermit, and he sent out bombs to different like high-ranking officials, and same kind of thing. He thought he was on a religious mission, and like he was obviously like insanely smart for that, and it's just kind of another sad story. But in this case, he did like kill people. So yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It's so sad because, like, yeah, Terry Davis went to, like, he got a master's in like electrical engineering. But it's this thing of, like, when somebody goes insane, why is it that it's always, like, they claim what they're doing is religious? And I can't help feel like they went insane, and so, like, there's something that's just this base, not instinct, but, like, base thing in us that we need to have a god or something. Does that make sense?
I think
So when you go insane, it's just like that's you can't help, or it's like you go so insane that you can't help but feel like it's your mind like telling you it's got to be God.
I think it's like that. I think it's you have these urges that you don't understand, and you feel like it has to be a message from something like higher.
Yeah.
Which is messed up.
Sad.
Yeah. And so for the Unabomber, I just want to make sure we're all good. It wasn't political officials. It was different academic people. So he killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people. And then two people had got sent bombs, but they were diffused.
Man.
So yeah, and I think
So most of his bombs worked.
yeah,
That's actually kind of impressive.
yeah, in the mail, that's pretty crazy.
I should have. That's impressive.
It is. It's
He knew his
yeah.
stuff. What was his PhD?
It was. I think it was in mathematics. Yeah. So he got
What?
Yeah, mathematics.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
He got a PhD in mathematics. Here, let me go over this.
Oh, dang.
So during his first year at Harvard, he lived at private housing, and then he was described as socially inept but very intelligent. So he earned his Bachelor of Arts in mathematics.
Like every genius.
In 1962, yeah. And then, so he was offered. Oh, okay. So for grad school, he applied to UC Berkeley, University of Chicago, which he got accepted in, but did not give him a teaching position with financial aid. University of Chicago is the coolest school of all time. I love that school.
Why do you say that?
So, University of Chicago, okay? Let's go on a quick little tangent. So, it was founded by Rockefeller. So, I think Rockefeller is probably the most interesting person in the Gilded Age, which in my opinion is the most.
Excuse me? Abraham Lincoln?
He's not in the Gilded Age. I'm saying.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's right before. No, but the whole Rockefeller, Carnegie.
Dude, Bill Clinton?
Yeah, Bill Clinton. No, but so University of Chicago was started by Rockefeller. Super interesting. So it just had a bunch of money pumped into it, and so it wasn't really that successful because the first headmaster dude. And then they started getting all these professors and everything, and then it became super influential with it was more conservative economics. So do you know who Martin Friedman is? Hey guys, this is editing Ethan. I want to apologize. I did not mean to say Martin Friedman. I meant to say Milton Friedman, the economist. I just want to get that out of the way, get that off my chest. I'm sorry. Yeah. He was
Yeah?
Yeah, it's him, and he worked there for a long time, and all this economic stuff is super interesting, but it has Harvard is fine, all the Ivy League schools are fine, okay, but Chicago
Harvard.
I think is more research focused, and you have more opportunities there, and it's not as yeah.
All I gotta say
is
I love my college. So
yeah, I think honestly it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just think it has cool history. That's why I like it. It has really pretty buildings.
I think when you're in college,
yeah,
what really matters is how you approach your schooling and how you approach learning. Because if you're just there to get a degree, then you're gonna fail. But if you're there to actually get better at something so that you can do good, you'll do better. Even if, say, someone who focuses on grades but doesn't learn anything will be worse at their job and thus way less successful than somebody who says, okay, this is extreme, but I'm going to use it all C's and B's. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying this because that's to me. I get good grades. Anyways, who are all C's and B's, and but the entire time they've actually learned something, and then they're just not good, say, at academic tests and stuff. I don't know. That's rare. Anyways, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what college you go to. It matters what you take out of college, and that's why you're going to be successful. It's not Steve Jobs. Okay, this is horrible. I'm going to use Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs went to Reed College
because he went to Reed College. Did he go to Reed College? Right? Yeah.
He went there for half of a semester and dropped out, and then he went to
exactly.
Yeah.
Where did he go after that?
He went on a soul-searching journey. I think it was India, and became not Muslim. What's the other one? I feel bad.
Hindu.
Yeah, I think it was
didn't know
Hindu.
this. Yeah. Anyways, the point is, it's just okay.
I think you should go to
In
college.
this world, of Steve Jobs, get a life. But
I think if
you should go to college. No, I agree.
No. I think you should go to college.
Depending.
To become.
I don't know. I'm gonna edit
to
that.
become more, not entranced. What's the word? Like more passionate about things that you're interested in,
and knowing more about what you want to know. Yeah.
Like exploring.
But it's a tool. Don't take college as anything but a stage of life to try to learn as much as you can before going to the workforce. But also, college is a time to try new things and fail so that you do better later.
Right.
Why did this become so like life advice-y? Holy crap.
This is.
Someone send us emails so that we don't have to make up life advice.
Yeah. I want to talk about something
If you need
real
advice,
quick.
send it.
That's gonna teach you
What?
out of a job. Okay. So
Teach me out of a job.
not teach you, whatever, kick you out of a job. So you know the popular coding website GitHub.
Yeah.
So there's this AI now that has taken all of the best code in the world that is found on GitHub.
Oh, yeah.
And is writing code now.
I know exactly. Yep.
Which is
No,
insane.
there's a tool. There is a tool now.
Isn't it like
that
like
will
suggests-
automatically write functions, so you can say, "I want a function that does this and this and this." So say you want a function.
Say you
This
want a
is
function.
super simple. That takes 3 numbers and it adds the first 2 and it multiplies the third one. So you would start by declaring the function, and then you would put a name, and you would say something really basic, and you would enter in 3 inputs. Hold up.
It's like Grammarly, but for
No,
coding.
it's not even. Imagine if you were writing a book and Grammarly wrote the plot twist for you
There you go.
because it knew exactly what it needed. Not even that. This thing will
Autocorrect.
write entire functions.
It's like the suggested thing when you're texting
Yeah.
and you just press the
It'll
middle
write
one.
like 20 lines of code for you perfectly without error. Because it's just like, oh, I know exactly what you want to do. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
And it uses your built-in variables and system of coding to best suit your needs.
Which is
It's
wild.
insane.
I think that people are worried that like AI and mechanization is going to ruin like low wage jobs. But if you think about
AI
it,
art,
if
man.
AI art. But like if you think about it, the incentive to replace doctors and people who
No,
code.
never place her doctor with.
But imagine
Thing
the
about doctors,
incentive.
they don't just diagnose symptoms and give patients medicine. They also take care of patients on an emotional level.
Hey, what about
Like,
this?
You don't want a robot
What
being
if-
with a woman giving a child.
What if there was a
Does that make
database that said you input all you're still a doctor. You input all the information that you have, and it gives you scientifically the most probable thing, and that allows you to see twice as many patients in one day, which cuts down the operating costs of a hospital by 30%, because a doctor's paid
Yeah, I still think the
$250K.
doctor needs to be there to discern if it's right, because there's so many symptoms, or there's a lot of things that just have so much overlap that it's like you put in every single symptom and what it looks like, and it could be 2 different things. And maybe a computer will get it right, but honestly, I think sometimes it takes just like trial and error. I don't know much about medicine, but I feel like sometimes it's just kind of like the doctor just has to ask all these
You have kind of
questions and determine.
intuition, but I think that
Yeah, I think a computer can't
It's-
have intuition.
I think that humans are less. I think that there's still going to be always a place for a doctor in places.
Yeah,
But I think that like probably 80% of what doctors can do can be replaced by a computer.
Yeah, I think computers can always help everything we do
And I think
because
that
it's just number crunching.
yeah,
It's doing the hard things for us.
I think that high paid upper middle class jobs are the ones that are going to be replaced first before because it doesn't cost
like
that
accounting,
much.
Who needs accounting majors? Like, come on. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
for real.
It's a joke.
Accounting majors,
It was a joke.
choose a real major.
I have a good friend who's an accounting major.
Yeah,
He doesn't
I have
listen to
2
the
good
podcast,
friends
so it doesn't
that
matter.
are accounting majors.
If you're listening to this, you know who you are.
You know who
I
you
play
are.
pickleball with you. Send me a message because now I feel bad for destroying your major. Anyways,
No, it's actually, if you will do my
accounting majors are amazing.
taxes for me, I will
Accounting
really
majors are
appreciate
the
it.
most wholesome people.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, can you do my
Yeah,
taxes?
please.
For me? No, that's
I'll hook you
terrible.
up.
That's terrible. Just
They
don't
need
do
to be
your taxes,
CAA
bro.
or whatever.
Tax evasion. Next week we're going to talk about how to avoid, how to commit tax fraud
Yeah.
successfully.
Yeah, with special guest, Pickleball Boy.
Bro. Wait a minute. Should we actually get on and talk about? We should discuss on this podcast
What should we discuss?
how-tos, but it's Ethan and Isaac how-tos, and it's stuff like how to evade tax. Can we actually talk about that next week, please? Please, can we do our own research?
Next week,
all right,
how to
guys, that wasn't a
how to
joke.
do
We
tax
will be
fraud.
talking about
The week after that, how to start your own pyramid scheme.
dude.
That's kind of what this podcast is.
It's a
Share
pyramid
with your friends, and we'll give you a free Patreon subscription.
No, what? That's not true. That's not true.
You have to share with at least 5 friends. And then we will pay you in Spud
We'll
bucks.
make you a patron. What if we made a currency called Spud Bucks? A digital... I'm just kidding. Spud Bucks.
1 Spud buck is equal to 5 Bitcoin. Guys, we're going to the moon. You just can't cash out. Can't cash out yet. But you wait. You wait and you'll get that sweet...
So we'll give you 10 Spud Bucks. You can only cash out Spud Bucks once they're equal to 10 Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
Which, will never happen. But where do...
Don't
okay,
tell them that.
anyways,
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that.
can we-
Spud buck to the moon.
I'm taking this out. I want to drop Ethan. I'm just talking now, but let's end it so we can talk. Anyways, thank you for listening. This episode got real, but don't worry. Next week we will talk about tax fraud, at least a little. Maybe we'll have a little section.
A lot
Isaac
of it.
Bro, a new section. Every podcast is gonna have a section. It's gonna be Isaac's how-tos. Next week will be how to commit tax fraud.
Okay.
I think that's my segment on yours.
One of us is
Then
going
you
to...
can have a segment on mine. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
My section is called Guess Who's Gonna Go to Federal Prison? Okay. Starring Ethan and Isaac.
All right.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going camping this weekend, so
Enjoy.
or
Enjoy.
I will have already camped by the time you're listening to this.
Because we are in the
So
past.
if this episode is rough, I'm
but
sorry,
you're in the
guys.
future.
No, let's not
but-
do this again.
Okay, so we're recording this on the 19th. So technically, this bit isn't funny.
I feel like our editing, the first episode, I'm just gonna talk about some editing. The first episode, we were like, bro, we just gotta like edit it and like take out everything we don't like. And then like by the 6th episode, we're kind of just like, you know what? As long as we don't say anything racist, sexist, or
Yeah.
vulgar or harsh, leave it in.
And it's
Awkward breaks.
I just think
who cares?
I just think that it's funnier when we say we'll edit it out and I just leave it in out of spite. That's my favorite thing to do.
I edited out a couple things about child slavery because now we have to edit.
We
that
talked to our legal team, and child slavery isn't cool anymore.
Yeah.
So
We talked to our legal team, and I guess current news is child slavery isn't cash money. So
guys, we're gonna keep it 100 with you, and child slavery.
Guys, we're gonna go
isn't
super
cash money
tubular
PogChamp anymore.
with you guys, and shut up. We're just recording for our own guilty pleasure. We're not. Gonna... All right.
This is the most
Like,
narcissistic thing.
I know.
I'm just seeing the little
Okay.
lines go up, and I'm just getting
Yo,
dopamine.
dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. My dopamine levels increase with the microwave levels.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. Recording waves.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. You have a spastastic week. Oh,
That was the most low energy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this.
That was not.
Hey guys, I want to thank you for listening to our
gosh.
episode. If you want to be a PogChamp, rate 5 stars on all the platforms. Have a Pog week. We'll see you next time at 6 a.m.
Don't you dare.
Central Time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Is that the actual time zone of like posting?
Yeah.
That was a really good bit, but let's have an actual outro now.
Okay.
Your face.
You do
Okay,
it.
guys.
You do it. No, more energy.
No. This is a
baguette.
somber episode. You're ruining my punchline. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. This really serious one, just about life and schizophrenia. I really just hope you have a good evening and a good day. Ho 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 baguette.
Peace.